Hey guys, Dr. Bo here talking about an overly simplistic model. Not too simple, but this is a complicated concept and I want to push things in the right direction. So, the overly simplified version of cardio, the term we hear cardio, right? So, here's a simple way to think about how you should integrate getting healthier for a longer period of time. If you have limited time, especially, what's the minimal effective dose you should be doing? These are really big generalities. So if you want to figure out how to include specifics more into your specific training, what time you have, what equipment you have, let's talk one-on-one. There should be a link somewhere that we can schedule that. So let's simplify this thing. And I'm taking this a little bit from Dr. Andy Galpin, one of my favorite people to listen to, one of the smartest guys I've ever seen or heard in this whole space of fitness and healthcare. So I trust him, and this is something that ties into my own experience, ties into a lot of the evidence I've seen as well, on top of my trust for Dr. Andy Galpin. So let's make it simple. 3 things you should do every week that is gonna move you forward in the concept of fitness, all right? So number 1, traditional cardio. What does that look like? That's the long, steady state kind of cardio that we normally think of, getting on the elliptical for 45 minutes, running for an hour. That ability to maintain a high heart rate, high-ish, we can get into zones and all this stuff. But the point is, something you can do for 45 to 60 minutes. If you're limited on time, get at least 30 minutes in. 30 to 60 minutes is kind of my happy place. I don't want to do a lot more than 60 minutes. And I think 30 minutes generally might be enough, but you want to start to build and play in that space. Again, you can choose whatever modality you want, rowing, cardio. You can do a mixed modal thing where you're just cycling through, but the idea here is to have your heart rate a little bit on the higher side, but not going out max heart rate. That takes us to number 2. So number 1, steady state. Number 2, a max heart rate. If you can do this, you are going to really improve the health of your heart. Of course, make sure you are cleared medically. You're not just going to go to a maximum heart rate from zero from the couch. You know what I mean? I think, all the disclaimers we can throw at you, all of this means is this is for informational purposes only. Always be cautious. Always check with a doctor of physical therapy, a doctor of the medical kind that you trust, that can clear you for exercise and also help you make sure, again, you're looking out for the big issues. So maximum heart rate, the way we can calculate that, just sitting here today, if you're 40 years old, the really easy number is 220 minus your age is an oversimplified, again, way to think of your maximum heart rate. So you should be close to 180 beats per minute. Whether you're using something like a Whoop, an actual heart rate monitor, if you can get as close to 180 beats per minute. And again, most folks who are in better shape, who have been training for a while, should be able to go a little bit higher than that calculated approximate heart rate. So I know 40-year-olds who can get their heart rate up to 200, and they're playing in that space. So you can have that measured, your maximum heart rate, very carefully in a lab, or you can calculate it and again, just start to understand where those numbers play. Again, something like a Whoop is not the most accurate thing in the world, but I trust it to give me some really good, valuable data. So number 1, steady state cardio. Number 2, touching your max heart rate. And that can happen within a 5-minute kind of window, right? It could be burpees as fast as possible. You can do sprint work. You can do sled pulls. You can do some of these different things that, again, we're not going to go too far into just for the sake of time in this video. But as long as you are doing something to get your heart rate to a really, really high level above what your steady state, if you're able to hang out at a 160 for steady state, you probably can't hang out there at a 180 going off of our example here. So number 3 is some kind of mixed modal. So Goldilocks concept, right? We have really, really long or somewhat long, really, really fast and intense, and then somewhere in between, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, but you can be mixing and matching the things that you're doing. So you could be doing push-ups, pull-ups, running, squats, that kind of thing. I did that workout a few days ago. It was a CrossFit type of version of a workout. But at the end of the day, that third piece, you can have a lot of fun with. You can do things that you like or you really don't like. And so at the end of the day, we're challenging our heart rate and our heart and our cardiovascular system, the ability to bring oxygen in, push carbon dioxide out. This is some powerful stuff. This is a really, really simple way to look at it. So if you, again, want to figure out how to make this a little bit more individualized, personalized, Get with someone like me, like a personal trainer, physical therapist. Medical doctors probably aren't doing exercise prescription, but we can get you set up in a way that's going to get you moving in the right direction here. Let me know if you have questions. Shoot them in the comments. Again, there should be a link to connect directly to me, book a call so we can talk about this. And other than that, have an awesome day. Hope you got 1% better and go do some cardio.